Before we begin, let me tell you something uncomfortable. You are not listening to a psychology episode. You are entering an experiment. And the most important part of this experiment is not what happened to the boys in 1954. It's what happens to you as you listen. So don't multitask, don't scroll, just stay here, because by the end of this episode, one question will sit in your chest. Under the right conditions, who would I become? So it's summer in 1954. There's no internet, no phones, just trees, dust and heat. You are 12 years old. Your parents pull the car to a stop. You step out and they smile. They tell you to have fun and then they leave. You stand there with a bag in your hand, unsure who you'll be by the time they come back. This place is called Robbers Cave State Park in Oklahoma. You don't know it yet, but psychologists will still be talking about what happens here decades later. And the reason they will talk about it is because nothing about you is special. You weren't chosen at random. You and the other boys were screened carefully. No trauma, no behavioural issues. No extreme personalities, middle-class families, stable homes, psychologically healthy. No racists, no bullies, no future criminals. Just ordinary boys. That was the point. Because Mustafa Sheriff, the lead researcher, wasn't interested in monsters. He wanted to know how normal human beings come to hate one another. The separation happens quickly. No drama, no explanation, just logistics. Half of you go one way and half go another. You don't object. Why would you? Within days, something subtle but powerful begins to form. Your group starts bonding. You eat together, sleep near each other, play games and laugh. Someone suggests a name. Your group becomes the Eagles. The other group becomes the Rattlers. The names stick. And flags are drawn, rules are made, and leaders emerge. And without anyone announcing it, something changes inside you. You feel proud not because you've done anything, but because you belong. And belonging feels like safety. Think about this carefully. Nothing bad has happened yet. No competition, no conflict, no scarcity. And already identity has formed. You hear about the other group before you see them. You've heard they're loud, that they think they're tough, that they're arrogant. Then one day you see them. They look like you, and that's unsettling, because if they're just like you, why does their presence feel threatening? The adults introduce tournaments, tug of war, baseball, treasure hunts. There are prizes, pocket knives, medals, trophies. But there's one rule. Only one group can win. It's zero sum, and that's where scarcity enters the system and the atmosphere shifts. The Eagles win a game. You cheer. The Rattlers lose and they scowl. The next game the Rattlers win. Your chest tightens. It's not just a loss, it's humiliation, and something dangerous happens. Losing becomes personal. And then the insults begin. Cheaters, crybabies, dirty. Soon it's more than words. A cabin is raided, belongings are stolen, a flag is burned. You feel angry, but more than that, you feel right. And that's the most dangerous feeling a human can have. No one told you to hate them. No one gave you a speech. No one taught prejudice. It emerged naturally from structure, from competition, from identity under threat. This is what Sheriff later called realistic conflict theory. When groups compete over limited resources, hostility is not a moral failure, it's a predictable outcome. And then the adults intervene, they try to bring everyone together. The teams share meals, watch movies, chill by the campfire. But it fails badly. The tension actually increases, but why? Because contact without cooperation feels like exposure. You're close to them, but nothing has changed. Then something does change. The water supply breaks. No eagle's water, no rattler's water, just no water. You have to work together, both teams, not because you like each other, but because you have to. Reluctantly, you cooperate, and something strange happens. You realise they're not monsters. They struggle like you, they sweat like you, they laugh like you. The story in your head updates. A truck stalls. It takes every boy to pull it. Eagles and rattlers together. Muscles strain, voices sink, and without anyone saying it, threat decreases and humanity reappears. By the end of the camp, something remarkable happens. When it's time to leave, the eagles and rattlers choose to sit together on the bus. The experiment is over, but the lesson is just beginning. Because now we stop observing the boys, we can take a breath and start observing ourselves. Sheriff didn't prove that people are cruel. He proved something far more unsettling. Human behaviour is shaped more by structure than character. And most societies make a catastrophic mistake. They blame people instead of examining systems. When you became an eagle or a rattler, your identity expanded. An attack on the group felt like an attack on you. And neuroscience confirms this. The brain processes social rejection and identity threat the same way it processes physical danger. That's why logic disappears in conflict. You're not thinking, you're defending. Because division doesn't just cause arguments, it causes dehumanization, moral justification of harm, stagnation, chronic anxiety, loss of trust. A divided society is a traumatized one, because division is cheap and unity is expensive. To divide people, all you need is fear, scarcity, and an enemy. To unite people, you need shared goals, long-term thinking, and moral courage. That's why bad leadership divides. It works fast. The solution is not to be nicer. Sheriff tried that, it didn't work. Because you cannot talk people out of survival instincts. You must change the environment. Joint goals, shared problems, shared survival. Not erasing identity, but transcending it. It happens in the real world. Look at politics, the media, online tribes, culture wars. Ask yourself who defines the competition, who controls the scarcity, and who benefits from the division. Because every argument, every online debate, every moment of righteous anger, you need to ask yourself what identity felt threatened, what scarcity was implied, what would cooperation look like. Working together doesn't mean agreement, it means shared direction. We don't need less identity, we need bigger goals. Robber's Cave was never about boys in the wood. It was about you. Because the cave isn't a place, it's a structure. And once you see it, you can step out of it. The most dangerous words are not, I hate them. They are, in fact, I would never do that. Because under the right conditions, you would, and in fact, you already did. And once you understand that, you gain something rare. Responsibility. And maybe, if we're honest, hope.